I'm sorry we lost the baby.
What happened?
The placenta came away from the wall of the uterus.
It's the same problem as before, then?
I'm afraid so, yes. We did everything we could, but,
Does Meg have to be here? She was distressed enough when we lost our first baby.
Well, she has her own room and the antenatal wards between her and the babies. We really need to keep her under observation for a few days. She's lost a lot of blood. The midwife will organize some counseling for you.
Sophie? Oh, I heard her cry out for me.
There was nothing, darling, nothing.
But I heard her.
Meg, part of you doesn't want to accept the fact that she's gone. Now, that's inadequate, I know, easy to say, but...
I just want to be absolutely certain that she's dead, that's all, that there's no mistake.
There was no mistake. Would you like to see her? Bathe her, perhaps?
No.
I really am very sorry. And I'll do all I can for you both in the future.
She was all there, wasn't she?
She was.
I'm sorry, Simon.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
You did everything right. Everything you could. And I love you, Meg.
Don't tell my father yet. Simon. You've told him.
I have to, Meg.
I don't want to see him. Not now.
All right.
Not yet.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you okay? Just clumsy. Please don't worry. Has this happened to you before? You know my history. No, I don't work here. I'm a nurse, but I'm not working at the moment. My baby is in the children's ward. She's here for observation. She'll be right for weeks, and suddenly the breathing stops. What do they think it is? They're clueless. 1 week it's immature lungs, and next it's neurocircuit missing. I came here to try and get your consultant to see her. Hargreaves? He's an obstetrician. Yeah, but he doesn't just do tests, he thinks. I work with Mr. Hargreaves in Warrington. He's brilliant. I kept in touch with him, and when he and my husband came to London, I chose this hospital because of him. But the paediatrician is so bloody thick, and Hargreaves won't tread on his toes. You know what they're like. He's driving us round the twist. Up half the night with the poor little thing. I never know whether I'm asleep or awake. I know what you're going through. Twice. 3 times. We nearly lost Helena. Giving her the kiss of life, rushing her here. She's beautiful. Sophie. How long have you been here?
Long enough to miss the Prime Minister's speech, I hope. How are you?
I'm okay. Fine.
I've lost a baby, I have a nightmare, but I'm fine.
You shouldn't miss his speech.
You give me a wonderful excuse. Let's try again. How are you? Will you just do as you're told for once? Stop pretending everything's fine and have a good cry.
Go away if you're going to...
That's better. That's better.
It's nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
It's these nightmares. I feel as though I'm going mad.
In or out of sleep, Meg, you are the benchmark of sanity.
What's the speech about?
Confidence. No need for a reshuffle.
Meaning there's going to be one. They're going to reshuffle you.
Oh, I shouldn't think so for a moment. I'm doing far too good a job at trading, well, what's left of industry. Now, confidence. That's the trick. Well, why should it only be for celebrations? I mean, this is when you really need the stuff. One of life's little blips.
Second little blip.
Oh, you do it, Meg. I mean, maybe you should explore the possibility.
Don't talk about it.
Oh, of course. Quite right. Shut up, Dad. That's why I bought this. Let it do the talking. Ah, is this allowed?
Oh, I don't see why not.
Ah, vintage Rhoda crystal.
I'm on duty, Mr. Crossdyke.
I should hope so. Ah, someone else has smelt the bouquet. Will you join us?
Oh, thank you. Christine, this is my father.
There we are.
Thank you. It's for stroke victims. My father set it up in memory of my mother. I'm a trustee, I don't work there. I'm a social worker. What sort of social worker? I run an area team working with children. She was beautiful. You don't look like a social worker. What does a social worker look like? Oh, horrible. I remember reading this article about your dad. When your mum had her stroke. Teaching her how to speak, her wet buckets. I taught her how to speak. My father was too busy speaking to other women. I was 8 when she died. Didn't see him for 2 years. Just had a succession of nannies. Well, I used to work for one of those agencies run by a couple of old bags in it for the money. The trust was building bridges. He knows he can see me every other month at trustee meetings. Well, you're lucky he was there. My dad walked out one day and never came back. There's this wood near where we lived where he used to take me playing hide and seek. I was 9 when he vanished. My mother was totally wrapped up in keeping the farm going. I used to wander into the wood looking for him, thinking he was hiding, and he'd pop out with the champagne like your father. He's not short of a bob or two, is he? And just leave it. The cot. Everything as it is.
All right.
Yeah, no, I don't like to leave Meg. She's really knocked out by all this. Yeah, well, can I get back to you when... Oh, hello, Mrs. Richardson. How are you? Okay. Bye.
Oh, yeah, let me do it.
Thanks, Eileen. You go on in.
I'm after something, of course.
Oh, watering your plants. Where are you off to this time?
Florence. Oh. Well, this time of year, I might see a few pictures as well as tourists. How is she?
Oh, physically fine, but... Oh, God, I don't know.
What's happened?
Well, it's so stupid, silly things. I mean, talking to each other's like walking on eggshells. I said I'd clear away the cot, baby things, you know, and she just blew her top.
This is Eleanor. We came to say goodbye. Have they found out what's wrong? Still waiting for path results. They need the bed. They've given me a prescription and a monitor, so if she stops breathing and an alarm goes off, that's a great help. I've had a row with Hargreaves, he won't help. I can't take it anymore. I need the loo. Will you take her for a minute? No, I can't. What about her breathing? Could you just call the nurse? She'll be okay. I won't be a minute. Expecting you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Don't start, Ian.
Where's Ellie? Is she all right?
She's fine. She's with her friend.
What, you just left her?
Well, we can't wrap her up in cotton wool all the time.
Yeah, I know. I went to the children's ward. They'd given us the same old garbage.
Yeah.
I wish you'd dress like that for me. Hey, perhaps I should wear a white coat.
Look, I'm trying to get Mr. Hargreaves to help. Whenever I do dress like this, you never seem to notice.
Yes, I do.
I thought you were working.
Yeah, I was. But just staring at a balance sheet doesn't exactly conjure up money. Anyway, I thought I might stay the night. What do you think?
We might relax more.
Yeah. Well, then again, I might just crash out.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Okay, whatever. Oh, it's my fault. Hi, I'm Ian.
Oh, Ian, it's Meg. Hello, you. Thought we were going to left you, didn't you?
Hey. Hello, little one.
Are you going now?
Yeah, we're going to stay the night if the NHS can afford it. I'm really sorry to hear about your sad loss.
Oh, for God's sake, Ian, you sound like a funeral card.
Do I? Sorry.
that, Mrs. Bartlett?
I'm fine.
Taking your pills?
Rattling about inside me.
Good night.
Can't sleep.
Who can?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mummy's here. Shh, Mummy's here. What is it? She tried to take my baby.
No, I didn't.
Is she all right?
Yeah, she's all right.
What's going on?
She tried to take a baby.
No, it's not nonsense. I thought she was in trouble. She was on her stomach.
What are you doing there?
I couldn't sleep. I thought she'd been sick.
So why don't you just call us?
You were busy. I thought she was choking.
She's lying. Alice hasn't been sick.
You're not well, Mrs. Bartlett.
I am perfectly well, thank you.
Come on, let's get you back into bed.
I'll get you a drink. Tea? Cocoa? Nothing. Thank you, I'm leaving.
Come on, please.
Just leave me alone, please.
You can't leave now, Mrs. Bartlett.
It's the middle of the night.
I'm going to call the doctor.
Do you not understand? I'm discharging myself. Could you please phone for a taxi?
Mrs. Bartlett, please, you can't leave like
Is
this.
she getting me a taxi?
Mrs. Bartlett, you cannot leave like this.
Excuse me.
Mrs. Bartlett!
Meg! 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 Meg!
What are you doing here? What happened?
I saw Sophie. I saw Sophie in the cot.
Meg, can you open the door, please? You all right?
Hello, Mrs. Bartlett.
Excuse me. I've just come from the hospital. I was woken in the early hours by a journalist who asked me if I knew that my daughter was being questioned about an attempt to steal a baby. I've got an arse about face as usual, but I've handled it. There's nothing to worry about now.
I didn't try and steal a baby.
Darling, I know you didn't, but why did you leave like that in the middle of the night?
What's he doing?
I was preparing for our friends from the press.
This is ridiculous. I've done nothing.
Darling, I know the baby was choking.
Yeah, hi. Look, the Minister wants Alan to open the skills centre. And, yeah, June can take the 10 o'clock, yeah? The guardians of our liberty are here, Minister.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Meg, don't be silly. You've got nothing to be sorry for.
The baby wasn't choking. I lied.
Mr. Bartlett, Claire Young, National Daily News. How's your wife?
I have no idea what you're talking
She's
about.
still being questioned about the baby. If one of us could just see Mrs. Bartlett.
Mr. Bartlett! What the hell's going on? Where's Meg?
She's in the conservatory. She told you what happened last night?
Yeah, there was some misunderstanding.
That lot out there are saying she tried to steal a baby.
That's absurd.
So are half the stories in their papers.
Well, they've no right to make such assertions. She's in a highly disturbed state of mind. I'll speak to them.
How would you do that, Mr. Bartlett?
They're not interested in her. Simon, they want me.
Oh, I see what you're worried about.
It's Meg I'm worried about, Simon. Best way to protect her is to kill this story right now. And with respect, I think that's rather more my territory than yours.
Well, you should simply just tell them the truth.
Of course.
I couldn't stop myself. And I didn't tell the nurses because it felt so insane.
Meg, darling, you're not insane. You've just been through the most terrible time. Anyone will understand that.
Fortunately, we have an excellent witness who corroborates your original story.
You met Christine Reardon at hospital. She was also worried about the child you picked up. She says, I quote, I noticed Alice Dawson laying on her stomach and thought she may be sick. Not being authorized to intervene, I went to alert the nurse, but she was dealing with an emergency. I returned to the side ward to find that Mrs. Bartlett had already picked up the baby. I tried to tell the nurses what I'd seen, but there was a great deal of confusion, during which Mrs. Bartlett left. End quote.
Christine Reardon is a nurse.
Yes.
Well, that's lucky.
What do you mean lucky? It makes no sense. The baby wasn't sick. It wasn't choking.
Well, she says she thought she may be. Why would she say that if it wasn't true?
This is from Claire Young. As the emotional heart of the National Daily News, I am deeply moved by the loss of your baby. I think that sharing your loss with our readers will both help you come to terms with it and your bank balance to the tune of £30,000. Negotiable. Oh, you're the lawyer, Simon. Perhaps you should spell it out.
I know how much working with children means to you, Meg. If any of this sticks, you may not be able to keep this job. And it may be difficult for you to find another working with children.
Thank you all very much for sparing the time to come. This is a tragic time for my daughter and her husband, and for myself.
We respect that, Minister, but did your daughter try and steal a baby?
No, she saw a baby in distress and picked her up.
That's not what the mother says.
A nurse who witnessed it said there were very clear signs of distress, and the hospital will be issuing a statement shortly. So, I'm sorry you've had a wasted morning, but there really is no story here.
There's nothing in it, Minister. Why did you waste your morning?
I'm sure you wouldn't make this kind of mistake, Claire, but one or two of your colleagues have been known to make a very great deal out of nothing.
Will your daughter be making a statement, sir?
How's your daughter feeling, sir? How's she feeling?
Good morning, Markham Social Services, Area 3. How may I help you?
Morning.
Morning.
Can you channel the baby stuff in Beatrice's direction, Linda? Thank you.
Controversial businessman, meteoric row. Oh, I like this bit. His human touch is sorely needed for a raft of problems, from asylum seekers to prison reform.
Eileen, I've read it.
All this must have been going on when he had to drop everything to deal with those dreadful reporters.
Yes, that's right.
You went back to work too soon, didn't you?
I had to.
Is it still okay? Watering the plants while I'm away.
Yes, of course it is.
Garage, Asper Cottage, and this is the front door. Oh, keep the lock. Use the cottage if you like. It'll do you good.
Thank you, but I shan't have time.
Then find it. That's an order.
Morning.
Morning.
We had hazelnuts, we could make yogurt.
unusual.
Coffee?
My father's actually recommending someone for a donation. Bit out of our area, disabled sportsman. This is for £250,000.
He's got more money than he knows what to do with.
The chief executive of The Last Hurdle is Christine's husband.
Christine? Who's Christine?
The woman. The nurse who made the statement after I left the hospital. It can't be right, can it?
Well, the money's going to a charity, not them. And your father's only making a recommendation which has to go before the Board of Trustees, which includes you. My God. Do you know who he is?
Oh, this was the best match I ever saw. He scored 3 and made 1. But he bust his leg.
Just now forgotten. It's unbelievable. He'd be a millionaire by now.
Yeah, I suppose he would.
Didn't I get you that coat?
I'm wearing that shirt. The shirt you gave me at Christmas time.
She's dead, Meg. She's dead.
I know.
No, you don't. You don't know. You hear her, you see her, you express your milk in those little bottles. And what's going on? What's all that for, eh? Tell me, come on, tell me. You must see a doctor, darling.
No. I can't see a doctor, not now. I can't. Simon. I'm frightened.
Oh, Meg. You've got to talk to someone. It's your job. It's what you believe in. Talking things through.
Yes, you're right, I will.
I won't go to Brussels next week.
No, don't be silly. It's your contract. I know how much it means to you. I'll be all right.
Sure.
Sorry. Did I give you a shock? You know who this is, don't you?
Hello. Wasn't expecting to see you. I took her rattle when I left the hospital.
Oh, is that where it went? Ian told me you were coming. I need to talk to you, but I don't want Ian to know.
Ring me. It's, Area 3.
Not social services. Not a social worker. I want to see you.
Christine, I am a bit.
But there's a pub on the Common, the Markham.
Yes, I know.
At 1 o'clock tomorrow, please.
All right.
You didn't hear Sprogface?
I know it's a business meeting. I'm sorry, Ian, but I suddenly remembered, you know, we never thanked Meg for looking after Eleanor that night and everything, and I was just passing, so... Thank you. See you. Have a good meeting.
Oh. Drop one of your cards.
Thank you. Eleanor's looking well.
Yes, she's well, thanks. Thank God. We sleep in shifts because we don't trust the monitor. If she stops breathing for 2 minutes, it's brain damage, and it's a bit longer, it's, well, you know. So, if I nod off, you'll have to forgive me. Christine wants to see you, does she? And that is where we come in. Helping them start a new life.
As you did.
Yeah.
My, husband was a fan.
God, look at me there, look at that. That was a game and a half.
Will you sign it?
Yeah, of course. It's Meg and,
Simon.
Simon. I haven't done this for a while.
Thank you. And thank you for all this. It'll take 2 months to do the report for the trustees and then...
2 months? Which is just a formality, isn't it?
No, every application has to be considered on merit.
Yeah, but your father told me that...
My father? When did you see my father?
Oh, right. Yeah, I spent the night at the hospital. I spent the night in the children's ward. Well, if it wasn't for me, Christine would have never signed that statement. She gets very nervous about things like that.
Where was Christine when I picked up the baby? Because I don't remember seeing her.
I don't know, but she was there. That's a good job for you she was, isn't it? Hey, don't forget your flowers.
Oh, come on, darling, that really is over the top. Blackmail. What exactly did he say?
It's a good job for you Christine was there.
Well, that's true, Meg.
But she wasn't there.
Are you sure?
Well, I didn't see her.
Well, it's not the same thing. Hold on. Madame, numéro 53. Are you saying that Ian and your father made some kind of a deal?
No, she supported my story because we've become friends and because I think she's been through something like me and she...
Well, maybe Ian got her to make the statement and his charity's now trying to cash in on the connection. What's wrong with that?
It was the way he said it.
Meg, did he threaten you?
No.
Did you get an appointment?
Not yet. I've been looking at therapists. Ian Reardon signed your football programme.
I didn't. Oh, Meg, you're wonderful.
Look, you should have nothing more to do with it. Just leave it to the other trustees, okay?
Okay.
Look, if I can get back any earlier.
No, Simon, I'm fine.
You sure?
Positive.
Right, sleep well.
And you.
Love you.
I love you.
Yours? Nice one.
Actually, I'm waiting for someone. Christine Reardon. My name's Meg. Are there any messages?
I'll ask around for you, okay?
Thank you. sorry you can't have it.
Why?
Where's your mum?
Don't know.
We could go and look for her, couldn't we? Can you see her? What's your name?
Luke.
Is he yours? No. Can you see her, Luke? Is she in here?
No.
No? Not yours? Not round there. She,
Excuse me? Where have you been? Where did you get this rattle? Where did you find him?
Wandering.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Markham Hospital, Children's Ward.
Now, Meg Bartlett, do you have Christine Reardon's phone number?
No. She was just asking me to ring you.
Eleanor had another attack at home and was admitted this morning.
She's stable.
Has she taken anything?
Not yet. Sats are steady at 96.
Pulse 110, blood pressure 90/70. Is she on the list for an MRI?
A what?
A brain scan?
No, your consultant says it's not appropriate at this stage.
Why not?
Just let me deal with this, Ian, please.
She's behaving quite normally.
Yeah, no thanks to you. The monitor didn't work. If it wasn't for Christine, she'd be dead.
Please, Ian, this doesn't help.
I'm having the monitor checked out right away, Mr. Reardon. How long did she stop breathing for, Christine?
I don't know.
She was conscious before you took her to the ambulance?
Barely.
We're having her reactions checked all the time. She gave me a little smile.
Is Mr. Hargreaves on?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Watching all the time, my ass.
But they're doing the best they can.
Where are you going?
To see if Hargreaves can give her an MRI.
I'll come with you.
No, you won't.
Why not?
Because you'll lose your rag.
Aye. It's just an excuse.
Don't be so stupid. Let me go.
No.
What's going on?
God news. Ian's locked Christine in the parents' room.
How's Eleanor?
Under obs. Stable.
You either open this door or I'll call the police.
Meg Bartlett, social services. She knows the couple.
No, hang on. I can't handle this, Nell. I'm sorry.
But you've got the security guard.
No, it's not that. I'm involved. Personally.
Then why did you come?
You didn't tell me they were fighting.
Well, they weren't when you phoned.
Well, all the same, I can't...
Christine asked me to ring you because Eleanor may be at risk. She had some bruising and the doctor's looking at her now.
Christine, do you think I'm that stupid? No, I don't. I didn't.
Christ.
Don't you tell me the truth!
Move. Mr. Reardon, it's Meg Bartlett. I've come to see Christine.
Well, she doesn't want to see you.
Look, I know how shattered you both are, but if you don't let us in, we will be forced to call the police. That what you really want? I know what you're going through. I know you are both at the end of your tether. But there is a child involved, and that's my responsibility.
What are you talking about? What's she talking about?
What have you been saying to her?
Nothing.
You're lying.
How could I have said anything when you wouldn't let me see her?
Well, do you want to see her?
Yes!
Go ahead. See if you can get the truth out of her, because I never can. You've got a nerve. If it wasn't for me, you'd be out of a job.
You wouldn't believe Ian was Father Christmas, would you?
Father Christmas?
Yeah. It was when he was picked to play for England. He came on the ward where I was working in Warrington with his sack and his white beard. Chose me to be his stocking fairy. The accident changed him. I wrote to him, and he still had the clipping of Santa and the fairy, and he said, I can hear him, he said it was worth all his golden goals put together. A month later, we were married.
What was the row about?
The usual.
What's the usual?
He thinks I'm having an affair. He always thinks I'm having an affair.
Are you?
No! He thinks I'm knocking off Hargreaves. It's ludicrous, isn't it? Just because we worked together once, just because I keep trying to persuade him to try and see Eleanor, he thinks he's shagging the life out of me. I wish he was, I can tell you. I can't stand it, I can't take any more. I think there should just be a fairy on the Christmas tree. Going off that night. When I left Eleanor with you.
Off? Where?
I don't know.
You were leaving Eleanor?
Well, she's safer off here, isn't she?
Safer? What do you mean?
From attacks, what do you think I mean?
How'd you get that?
A mark easily, delicate skin.
Was it Ian? Christine, the nurse has found some bruising on Eleanor.
Well, it's not surprising after all. She's been through the ambulance and everything, is it? What are you trying to get me to say? Make you all my friend, aren't you?
Yeah. But I'm also a social worker. And I have to ask these questions for Eleanor's sake. When it all gets too much, has Ian or you ever lost it and hit the baby? Is that why you wanted to leave her in the hospital?
No, he never touches her.
And you?
You don't think I would ever touch her, do you?
Anyone might if she was going through what's happening to you. Beatrice will be in touch. She's a colleague. She's very good, very understanding. Don't lose that one, will you?
Beatrice, I don't want to see Beatrice. I want to see you. You understand, please.
This is not possible, Christine. I'm sorry, I am too involved. And as your husband charmingly put it, I owe my job to you.
That's absolute bollocks. You were just doing what you thought was right. Yeah, that baby's stupid mother was just feeling guilty because she put her down without winding her properly. You know, I had a row with her just the other day about winding her baby. Well, come on, you can't possibly go without seeing Eleanor. So you got your breath back all right, don't you? Look, who's come to see you. It's Meg. I think it's time for a feed. I'll get her a bottle. Oh, look what she's brought you. Is that where it went? I'll keep it quiet for a bit. Meg, did you baptise Sophie?
No, we, don't believe.
No, it's not what you believe, is it? It helps. Bloody Trevor gets on my nerves. Squeaks all the time.
You lost a child before you had Eleanor.
But can I phone you at home?
No, I gave you the name of a colleague.
No, I don't want to see her. I want to see you as a friend.
Look, I'm sorry, Christine. I have been
who...
hopelessly unprofessional. I have to go.
She was angry.
You really think they could be harming her?
I didn't say that, Linda. It's a possibility, that's all. We can't ignore it. Here are my notes. You run police and social service checks on Ian and Christine Reardon and let Beatrice have them before the baby's discharged from hospital. That's important.
Beatrice?
She'll supervise you. I have nothing more to do with it. Is that clear?
Yeah.
I told you Beatrice would supervise this, Linda.
She did. I thought all files for closure had to come through you.
The closure?
Yes. Beatrice has been through it. There's no case.
I'm sorry, I didn't look at it. You found nothing?
Well, Christine Reardon refused to see me. All the checks are negative, nothing known.
Good. Thank you. Well done. Sorry. Are you sure now?
I'm positive. I have Christine Reardon's medical records from way back, and Eleanor's her first child.
And there's no indication of any other?
No. You're barking up the wrong tree there, Meg. I mean...
Maybe there was a wee miscarriage and she was showing a bit of sympathy for you, you know?
Bumping up the story?
Maybe, Were any of the attacks in the hospital?
One I remember.
Did you see it?
No.
Did anyone apart from the parents?
Sarah says one of the parents called the nurse, but she can't remember which one.
You know that file that she keeps notes in, copies of all the incidents?
No.
No, you must have seen it. Look.
No, I haven't.
You are keeping a close watch on Eleanor, aren't you now?
We're keeping a very close eye on her indeed, Meg.
You all right, Mrs. Bartlett?
Yes, I'm fine.
Any more files to lock up?
No, thank you.
Good night.
Ian and Christine Reardon.
Yes.
No one from social services has asked for this before. I haven't shown you that, Meg, okay?
Of course you haven't, thank you.
Ambulance records. Mm-hmm. Yes, okay.
Can I have a copy of this?
Sorry. You'd have to go through the usual channels. Sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay. All right, bye.
Hello? Hello, I'm back. Hello?
Hello?
You are looking wonderful.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Who is it?
She's warning me.
What?
The trolley.
What are you talking about?
There's a squeaking trolley in the ward. I heard it in the background. She's been trying to tell me all the time.
Who's been trying to tell you?
Christine Reardon.
Meg, you agreed to have nothing more to do with the Reardons.
Yeah, I know, but it... Simon, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go to the hospital.
No, that's the last place you're going. You're not well, darling.
I'm perfectly well. Hello? Yeah, just a minute.
Hello? Yeah, Simon Bartlett speaking. Yeah. Oh, hi, Chris. Yeah, all signed, sealed, delivered, yeah. Oh, that's very nice of you. Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks. Okay, bye. Meg? Meg? Meg?
Please don't go to the hospital, please.
Markham Hospital, Children's Ward.
Nell, it's Meg. Is Sophie all right?
Who? Hello?
Eleanor.
Yeah, she's fine. Why?
Have you seen those ambulance records on the Reardons?
Aye, but it's a bit late in the day for that.
Eleanor's been discharged tomorrow.
Well, why the hell wasn't I told?
Come on, and it was.
Okay, I'm sorry. Has Christine been trying to phone me?
Dunno. Why, do you want to talk to her?
No, I'll come in, but don't tell her I'm coming.
Where have you been?
Lou. I thought of going home. Night duty.
Well, you did it. You were right. You got him to agree an MRI.
When, though?
I'm sorry that I blew it.
It's okay.
You know Dr. Harker, don't you?
Is this going to take long?
I hope not.
Is Anya watching Alma?
Yeah.
What about her parents?
Watching the telly.
Ian here?
Aye. All sweetness and light again?
I hate this.
Nobody likes it, Sarah.
2 of the attacks happened in hospital. One 48 hours before discharge. The other the night before discharge.
And what's that supposed to prove?
On its own, nothing.
This is ridiculous.
They love that baby. You can't fake that. Smother her. They wouldn't do that. And Christine wouldn't let him touch her either. She's a nurse, for God's sake.
There's not one shred of hard evidence here.
There is one thing. Bleeding from the nose.
That's not common when a baby's breathing fails. Ambulance record.
Where did you get this?
Usual channels. Baby blue, mother attempting resus, blood from nose. Scratches on cheek, mother thought may have happened in resus. Query, abuse.
Why has no one picked this up before?
I only wanted to know when Sarah was taking over.
Soon. Stay with Elmer, Anya.
You shouldn't leave her room.
It's just that I have the drinks to do.
This is one observation by paramedic.
Okay, he's not a doctor and I'm not a doctor, but he was there and you weren't. All the attacks took place when the parents were there, in and out of hospital. Not one was witnessed by a nurse or anyone else. No organic cause has been established, and until it is, we have to assume abuse by one of them is a possibility.
Then we should call the police.
The police won't act on what we've got. You phone the consultant, get him to delay the discharge on whatever pretext he can think of. I'll call an emergency meeting of all the agencies involved first thing in the morning, including the police.
Take over from Anya, Sarah.
Shall I do it?
Colin, hello. Regarding Eleanor Reardon. Yes, Mrs. Bartlett's with me. Postnatal depression. Oh, yes. Stillborn, yeah. A second. Disturbed.
Can I talk to him?
He's gone. He thinks it's her lungs. They're too tiny to cope.
Will he delay the discharge?
He needs the bed.
That will do more harm than good, Meg. Are you sure you're reading the situation correctly? We all know what you've been through.
That has nothing to do with it now.
using the baby as bait?
I don't suppose you got any painkillers, have you? Leg's really playing up.
You're not a patient.
Well, what else would you call it? It's no use one of them just picking her up, is it? She's got to be half smothered if you want to prove it.
We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes? What do you mean 2 minutes?
Before she loses consciousness. Ian told me that. He seemed to know the exact figures. 2 minutes, 30 seconds before there's brain damage. And 3 minutes before.
Before she's dead, is that what you're going to say? You've got 2 minutes. Well, that's great. That's very reassuring. And what happens if you make a mistake? What happens if she is brain damaged?
Yes, and what happens if they take her away in the morning and in a week or a month or a year we wake up and read in the papers that she's dead?
You've done everything you can. More.
All right. So I'm in the clear. Is that what matters? Covering one's back.
Confront them.
No.
Why not?
You think they'd admit it?
Why did she call you then, if it was her?
Because she's on the edge. She's been on the edge ever since I met her.
You think?
Yes, I think. She nearly gets there and then she backs off.
You think?
If you want to say something, Simon, say it.
I went to the other ward first.
Other ward?
Postnatal. I was nearly demented. I thought you'd come here to steal another... Well, you know, to steal a baby.
Another baby, were you going to say?
Everything's quiet. Why don't you go on home, Meg?
Come on, darling, come on.
Sarah isn't watching.
We haven't the staff.
I'll stay.
No, you're too involved.
Of course I'm involved. Things go wrong because people never are involved.
This isn't good. Should I get me some more painkillers?
Leave it as long as possible.
Ian fell asleep reading American Psycho. If that's significant.
Thanks, I'll make a note.
I think you want it to happen.
Yeah, this is my idea of a night out.
Go home, Meg. There's nothing more you can do. Come on. You're absolutely wrecked.
Would you like a cup of tea? What are you doing?
You're choking.
I was trying to save her.
I was watching you, Christine. I saw you.
She's going to be all right, aren't you?
Where are you taking her? Well, I thought you said doctor here.
She needs to see a doctor straight away.
Why won't you tell me where you taking her?
How did you know? How did you know? I was trying to bring her round. Why won't people believe me? Is it because of what she's been saying?
You said, how did you know?
Yeah?
What did you mean, Christine?
Well, how did you know she was going to have another attack? What the hell do you think I meant? Well, go on. What else is how did you know supposed to mean? How the hell did you know she was going to have another attack?
Christine. Christine. Christine.
Look, she is not your child, Meg. When are you going to realise that?
Your favourite journalist, Claire Young, would love to interview you.
Tell her she can stick her concern for my daughter up her very unlovely arse.
What do I tell her after that?
What does she know?
Nothing concrete. She's sniffing round the Reardons.
Well, he'd better get our contribution then.
I would advise against that, Minister. If they lose their daughter, he'll blow up. He won't give a damn what he says. You bribed Christine to protect your daughter? Whatever.
Get me the details of the case against the Reardons. Thank you, Mark. I'd better talk to Meg.
After you've read that. Then I think you'll be able to persuade her. There's a story being touted around the press that Christine Reardon was bribed to get you out of the baby stealing charge.
They're saying you bribed them.
No, they're saying you did.
You went to see Ian Reardon on the 18th of last month?
I can't remember the date.
You asked him to sign an old football program. And then you pursued a relationship with his wife.
I saw her as a client. I saw him because I thought the donation unwise. You put it forward. You took down her evidence in the first place, or are you forgetting that?
I left the donation to the trustees, Megan.
After telling them what to do.
They're going to say you tried to steal one baby. Now you're trying to steal another.
Then they'll be lying, won't they?
Well, of course. Everyone lies when the chips are down.
Then it's simple. I'll tell the papers what happened.
Oh, Meg, come on. They're going to play really dirty. Unless we're very careful, we'll both of us be out of a job.
When are they going to print the story?
They're not. Without your evidence, the case can't succeed.
And without a case, Mrs. Bartlett, there is no story.
You must drop it, Meg.
I can't do that.
Darling, you've no option.
What, so that you can keep your job?
So that you don't go through a process that could destroy your life.
Oh, come on.
I mean it. Of course, I'm worried about losing my job, but my main concern is you.
Dad, it's a baby's life.
Meg, if you were going to win, there would be no argument. I would be 100% with you, but... Are you sure you saw what you think you saw?
What are you saying? That I'm making it up to get the child? No, no. Just don't say any more. Don't try and manipulate me like you did my mother.
I have been doing this long enough to know how many children have been killed because people like me did nothing, and how many inquiries politicians like you set up to say it must never happen again. I saw what I saw, Dad, and it is not going to happen again. Not to Eleanor Reardon.
I didn't realize you had an independent witness. And she will say that she saw her smothering her.
Yeah.
She a good witness?
Well, it won't shake her. She's a nurse. She's only working as a healthcare assistant because she's not yet qualified here.
Well, I'd say you got a pretty strong case. I've made some notes.
Thank you.
Oh, and one other thing. I'll get that suit dry cleaned.
Is that what really matters?
You'd be surprised. What's that for?
Because you don't know where you are for a change.
Be serious.
I am, believe me.
Meg, is this going to be an end of it? Because I don't think I could take any more.
Well, neither can I. I wish I could drop it. I really wish I could. But I couldn't live with myself if I did.
You saw, or thought you saw, this 3-month-old baby being smothered, and you did nothing but stand there and watch?
Yes.
Why?
Because I had to be sure. I knew I had 60 or 70 seconds.
Oh, I see. It was all right watching for 60 or 70 seconds,
Yes,
was it?
because I had to be sure.
It's not true. She's lying.
I shall never forget the look
lying.
on her face.
Oh, my baby,
Never.
please don't do this to me, Meg, please.
Mrs. Reardon, I know how distressing this is for you, but please do not interrupt. You will have your time to speak.
3 weeks ago, when you visited Christine Reardon and her baby in hospital, she saw a stain on your blouse. Is that right?
Yes, it was milk.
Your milk?
My milk.
After losing a baby, milk usually dries up in a month, doesn't it?
Not in my case.
Evidently not. Are you still, I believe the phrase is, lactating?
Yes.
Thank you. There was another time, apart from the baby picking up incident in hospital, when you, picked up someone else's child. Wasn't there, Mrs. Bartlett?
I don't know what you mean.
Really? Well, let me refresh your memory. It happened at a pub called the Duke of Markham. Mrs. Bartlett?
Mrs. Bartlett, are you all right?
Yes, thank you.
So you picked up this child?
He was lost. I went round the pub looking for his mother.
Why were you carrying a rattle? Mrs. Bartlett, you can't have children, can you?
That's not true. It's difficult, not impossible.
I see, I'm sorry. After the terrible trauma of losing your own child, you were determined to replace her in some way, weren't you?
This is rubbish. You are twisting everything that happened.
When you went to the hospital that night, you were determined to see what you wanted to see, weren't you?
No!
I will remind you, you are on oath, Mrs. Bartlett. The truth is that you saw Christine Reardon trying to resuscitate her child, didn't you?
No! She was smothering her!
And you are a healthcare assistant, Mrs. Danilov?
In Bosnia, I was fully qualified. I have certificates
Yes,
from
but
the...
here, you're a healthcare assistant.
Yes.
Was Mrs. Reardon trying to revive her child?
Not at all.
How can you be so sure?
Because I am a mother and a nurse. Look, I show you. My baby is crying. I cuddle her. I feed her.
Yes, yes, Mrs. Danilov, I see.
She has stopped breathing. I must give her my breath. Fill her lungs. This she was not doing. She has her here.
Well, that was very eloquent, Mrs. Danilov. You don't like Mrs. Reardon, do you?
No, I don't. Makes no difference.
She's a fully qualified nurse, isn't she?
I believe.
You were issuing drugs when you were not entitled to do so. Mrs. Reardon made a complaint, and you were very lucky not to get fired. Isn't that right?
She was lying. She told a lot of lies about me.
Eleanor was premature and has respiratory immaturity, which should right itself as she grows older. There are different interpretations, but in my view, the acute episode that morning could easily have been triggered by an upper chest infection.
Mr. Hargreaves, you worked at one time with Mrs. Reardon, didn't you?
Yes, for 2 years in Warrington. She was an excellent nurse, and I saw no evidence to suggest she would ever do a dreadful thing like this.
She thinks Eleanor is Sophie.
Please speak up, Mrs. Reardon.
Sorry. She thinks Eleanor is Sophie.
Her dead baby?
Yeah. She hears her. She sees her.
Where did you get that from?
Please, Mrs. Bartlett.
Who told you that?
You know you must not interrupt.
Since your baby died, have you heard her? Seen her?
I know it's my imagination.
Just answer the question, yes or no. Have you heard her? Or seen her?
Yes. For a few seconds.
You would have this illusion, if that is the right word, for a short period?
Yes.
Only a little shorter, perhaps, than the time in which you say you saw Mrs. Reardon smother her baby.
And I therefore reject the application for custody of Eleanor Stephanie Reardon. But the court will make a supervision order, and I direct that henceforth Mrs. Bartlett will have no further connection with the case. Court will rise.
What does that mean, supervision?
Well, the social worker makes home visits. The main thing is Eleanor stays with you. You keep custody.
Excellent.
Meg, I just wanted to say I don't bear any grudges.
What happened to your first child, Christine?
Look, I hope you have your own baby soon and get this out your head.
What happened?
It's a supervision order. I have some papers to give to Nell.
She's around somewhere.
My sweetheart. You don't need these things, do you? Better. Here we are. That's better.
Why are you crying?
I'm not.
Is it because Eleanor's going home today?
Yeah.
Well, she'll need this, won't she? Come on.
Thank you.
Eleanor's been very good, and I'm seeing her home. Bye, Eleanor. Bye.
All settled, is it?
That's right.
Mrs. Mitchell? Cab for Mrs. Mitchell.
That's me.
Please, Meg, please return my baby before she comes to any harm. And think of what it was like when you lost your baby. That's what we're going through now.
She may have just called me.
May have?
Well, she wouldn't speak. But I heard the baby crying, and she withheld the number.
I didn't see her. I saw what I wanted to see. And she gave me her baby to look after, and she's become my baby. And she's ill.
Well, the cry continues at the same time, 9 o'clock next Monday evening. In a moment, the ITV News.